Alright there gang, it's Jules here from FGS, and today in a continuation of our series of upcoming games that you need to be hyped about in 2025, I'm going to be turning the many screens that make up your PC to talk about, you guessed it, Neo Geo games. No, I kid, obviously it's PC titles that are coming out this year, woo! Or should that be? Because it's not just my picks that formed this list, as the entire FGS team was polled on what PC games they were the most hyped about, and, well, there's some interesting picks to say the least. So let's have a chat, as I'm Jules, this is FGS, and these are the 10 best upcoming PC games of 2025. Actually, before we kick off this list, there is one thing I do need to mention, and that is that we're going to be returning to the user comments for the entries going forward, and you better have a good old think about what you would include for the greatest Easter eggs of 2024. What would you pick? Let me know in the comment section below, and you might be picked for next week's video. God, it's good to be back. But anyway, let's kick off with number 10, Deadlock. So my friends, let's talk about Valve's upcoming title Deadlock, which they begrudgingly admitted is in the works after a slew of leaks and rumours hit the scene. And to be honest, with a game that sounds as good as it is, it's actually amazing that they aren't shouting from the rooftops about it. Now, Deadlock is a 6v6 hero shooter with MOBA elements, where players battle through waves of NPCs and other players. The game will feature dynamic movement, allowing players to run, slide, double jump and air dash along with zip lines to quickly move around the map. Although the release date does remain uncertain, reports from those currently testing the game suggest that it could drop quite soon this year. The game will definitely be available for PC, but it is unclear whether it will be cross-platform. The roster is currently at 21 heroes, and there's more likely on the way, making it feel like a true MOBA compared with the rather limited roster of games like TF2. Some heroes like Seven stand out with their powerful abilities like their lightning ball, which can mess up other opponents with damage and movement slowdown. Combine this with his other abilities and you've got a force to be reckoned with. Bebop, on the other hand, who's another hero, is a nightmare with his hook and hyper beam combination, making him a dangerous pick in fights. The map is huge and there's plenty of potential for it to evolve like Dota 2 with constant tweaks and updates. If you're looking to get in early, Deadlock is worth a try, and it sure is shaping up to be a solid game even in beta. Number 9, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Every single frame I see of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 weaves another link in a chainmail vest that is weirdly consuming my body like a living plague, as hot damn is this game pulling me headfirst into the world of heroic knights, smelly peasantry, and all the plague you can eat. With the tagline of Live a Life Medieval, this is a game that is putting roleplay right at the heart and centre of the experience, and promises players a historically accurate 15th century setting to explore from dawn till dusk. Here you can waste away your digital life by being a blacksmith, honing your archery skills, or taking part in an involving main questline centering around a civil war. If Skyrim was your bag, then this game promises to be the hat, shoes, trousers, and comfortable peasant pants that go along with it, as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 expands on the original's adventuring mentality with better and deeper combat, a huge open world to explore, and of course, many comical ways to die thanks to the world being populated by beasts and bandits. Just maybe make sure that you've brushed up on your fighting skills before setting off, as the game itself points out that button mashing is a surefire way to die here. Instead, you'll have to watch for openings, use your surroundings, and strangest of all, know when to retreat and live to fight another day. Seriously, I mean, you're just one guy taking on 5 different people at once is not probably going to end well. However, things will end well for players waiting desperately for a release date, as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 drops on the 4th of February 2025. Number 8, Subnautica 2. Subnautica 2, the highly anticipated follow-up to the original underwater survival hit, is diving into early access in 2025. It'll launch on PC and Xbox Series X and S, but sadly PlayStation players will be left out, at first at least. The game will bring the deep sea exploration we love with the exciting addition of multiplayer. Finally, right? Now you can dive into the alien oceans with up to 3 friends exploring the vast world together in co-op mode. Early access will feature a handful of biomes, creatures, craftable items, and the beginnings of a mysterious story that hints at the idea of human evolution, perhaps adapting or merging with the planet's creatures in order to survive. Expect the familiar gameplay loop of scanning wildlife, crafting tools, and customizing bases, but with enhanced systems that allow a more complex survival experience. The base building system will be revamped to allow for better shelter options as you delve deeper into the planet's secrets, for example. So while you're waiting for more details or just getting wrecked by leviathans in the original game, there's plenty to keep you occupied. Number 7, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, definitely a long name indeed, sinks its fangs into the long-awaited sequel territory, promising to blend dark urban storytelling with chaotic vampire politics. Set in a hauntingly atmospheric Seattle, the game follows your character's rise, or unholy stumble that is, through the ranks of vampire society. You'll navigate a web of alliances, betrayals, and supernatural intrigue as you try to balance your humanity, good luck, and your thirst for blood. Bloodlines 2 leans heavily into choice-driven gameplay, with every decision shaping your relationships with the city's factions and influencing the story's direction. Whether you're seducing your way through a club or intimidating rivals with some blood-fueled power moves, the game embraces variety. While fans are hyped for the series' return, development definitely has been pretty spicy, with delays and a change in developers. But one thing is clear, Bloodlines 2 wants to deliver that same immersive, morally complex world that the original is loved for, while also upgrading the visuals and gameplay to modern standards. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 release date is set for the first half of 2025, which is vague enough to just make me think it's going to slip to 2026, but fingers crossed it doesn't. At this point, waiting for Bloodlines 2 to eventually release definitely feels like a vampire waiting for sunrise. You know, it's eventually coming, but you're not entirely sure that it's going to look like what you remember it did. And you might be turned to dust, I guess. That metaphor didn't go well. Number 6, Hyper Light Breaker. If you enjoyed the frenetic action of 2016's Hyper Light Drifter, or just love a chaotic action RPG with a side helping of roguelite, then the next installment in the series, Hyper Light Breaker, will definitely be for you. Taking place before the events of Hyper Light Drifter, the game casts you as a titular breaker, a warrior who ventures into the Overgrowth, which is a mysterious realm riddled with mysteries and gnarly enemies, and do so in order to defeat the Abyss King, who, if the name is anything to go by, is up to no bloody good. Unlike the previous entry, Hyper Light Breaker is a fully 3D adventure which offers your inner Labrador boundless freedom to explore large-scale procedurally generated worlds. That's right folks, no colourful biome or treacherous labyrinth is ever going to be the same. Getting around this ever-changing terrain is also a joy, as you can wall dash, glide and hoverboard your way through each run in search of loot to take back to your hub settlement if you die. In order to fight the tyrannical Abyss King, you'll need to beat up a series of regional bosses, all of whom offer unique challenges. And if you don't fancy braving it alone, you can also buddy up with 3 other players to battle the Overgrowth's baddies as a team of 4. Hyper Light Breaker is making its way to PC on the 14th of January this year. Number 5, Mouse PI for Hire. Now, if you're a regular here at FGS, you might have seen this one before, because we bloody love unique games that nobody's really heard of yet, and oh boy does this game have that quality in spades. It's called Mouse PI for Hire, an upcoming 1930s style boomer shooter by indie studio Fumi Games. Scheduled for release in 2025, this black and white FPS blends Cuphead-style rubber hose animation with satisfying gameplay staples like head-popping and explosive action. You can expect it on PC via Steam and consoles, including PlayStation, Xbox, and even the Nintendo Switch. Here you play as Jack, a tough-as-nails PI mouse with a dark past, joined by Tammy, a resourceful sidekick who doubles as your gear upgrader. The game features a range of over-the-top weapons, from Tommy guns to finger guns, and bosses to battle across nostalgic environments like industrial factories and naval docks. Plus, there's classic cartoon tropes like falling pianos that add humour to the gritty noir vibe. First revealed in 2023, Mouse has since teased gameplay trailers showcasing its mechanics, from grappling hooks to spinach-fueled power-ups. If you're a fan of fast-paced FPS action with a vintage twist, definitely keep an eye on this title, while also hoping that the litigious-loving other Mouse doesn't get in the way of this game's release. Number 4, Dune Awakening. Oh, what's that? Did you hear that? It sounds like the rumbling of a distant sandworm, my friends, because coming to PC this year is Dune Awakening, an expansive MMO that basically says to players, hey, you know all those other sandbox games? Well, what if we actually let you play in a literal sandbox that is the desert planet Arrakis for themselves? This is a true open-world experience set on the most dangerous planet in the universe. Here you can craft your own character, scavenge for loot, form powerful alliances, hunt down your foes, and build a base to shield yourself from the elements in order to stay alive. Players can live out their own destiny in Frank Herbert's sci-fi epic however they choose, rising to glory by controlling the planet's invaluable flow of spice via exploration, trade, manipulation, or combat, or just not doing any of that. Don't forget, this is a world inhabited by hundreds of other players who are all out for themselves, so keep your wits about you or you'll end up with a knife in your back quicker than you can say Lisan al-Gaib. Dune Awakening will also be one of the first games to feature Nvidia's new DLSS 4, meaning the graphic fidelity should be as sharp as as Timothée Chalamet's cheekbones. Dune Awakening arrives on PC early 2025 with a console release to follow later in the year. Number 3, Hell Is Us. Hell Is Us is a third-person action-adventure that garnered a lot of attention since it was revealed back in September of 2024, because what makes this moody, surreal-looking title so brilliantly compelling is that it has absolutely no desire at all to hold your hand. The game features a unique, refreshing exploration system with no maps, no quest markers, and not even a compass to help you find your bloody arse from your elbow. Instead, when venturing through this semi-open world, you'll have to rely on your instincts and sense of direction, which makes for a more engrossing adventure that feels distinctly yours. As this markerless region has been afflicted by both a civil war and a mysterious calamity, your character, a soldier named Remy, no, not like from Ratatouille, might also bump into supernatural creatures on their strolls. Kinda like these faceless lads. Ooh, aren't they horrible? And which no modern weapon can leave a scratch on. Wicked. Thankfully, a medieval selection of axes, swords, and spears will be at your disposal, as well as a cheeky drone that can be used to distract some of these absolute rotters while you're sticking with the pointy end of whatever it is you're holding. Hell Is Us is coming to PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5 sometime in 2025. Number 2, Civilization 7. And now for a strangely controversial choice for this list. Let's have a chat about Civilization 7. A game series that is so long in the tooth and yet is still setting message boards alight for how much it's refusing to play it safe. Across the years, the Civilization franchise has routinely opted to mess with what many would actually deem to be a well-worn formula, either switching up how the game looks entirely or how certain mechanics play out, and Civ 7 is really going to divide the fan base with its approach to simplifying the different ages, which are now just 3 different eras. However, for the absolute sickos like myself, this actually isn't going to be a drawback, but instead an exciting chance to see how Civ 7's non-locked leader mechanic will work out. Basically, you'll get different leader options based on how you play, not just where you start out your empire, which surely should result in a more varied and experimental gameplay style, right? In fact, control seems to be the core message of Civ 7, because the way that cities expand is more granular, different tiles provide different yield bonuses for your industries, micro decisions will populate your playthrough with your choices affecting both your empire and your funds, and of course, diplomacy is now more enriched and offers different options. Therefore, if you wanted to carry on your tiny tyrant reign of terror, Civ 7 is going to be the game for you. And number 1, Monster Hunter Wilds. If there's one word to describe the Monster Hunter series, it is surely big. Because this is a massive beefosaurus of a franchise when it comes to its titular monsters, and especially so now that Capcom is throwing open the gates and saying, "Welcome to Jurassic Park" with Monster Hunter Wilds. This is, in short, the most technically demanding title in the franchise, because here for the first time players will be able to roam freely across several massive areas as they find traces of, then track, and then finally hunt down their prey. With an evolving weather system that can hamper hunter and quarry alike, and a food mechanic which sees hungry predators leave areas without prey to search for sustenance, this is truly a living world from top to bottom. Add to this the bevy of updates that the core Monster Hunter experience has seen introduced over the years, such as the Palicos and the trusty Slinger, and you have so many ways to slay that it's almost overwhelming. So get ready to party up, sharpen those blades, and don't forget to pack a barbecue to roast your victories on when Monster Hunter Wilds drops on the 28th of Feb. And there we go, my friends. Those were 10 upcoming PC games of 2025 that we cannot absolutely wait for and are utterly hyped on. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, and also put your suggestion for next week's episode, because we're going back to the user comments that form entries, and it's going to be on the greatest Easter egg of 2024. What would you pick? Let me know down below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on Blue Sky, where I'm at RetroJ, but the O is A0. I hope to see you over there, my friends. And I hope you're treating yourself well with love and respect. It's the start of a new year, so let's do that whole sort of new me, new you, new everything mentality, and just give ourselves a little bit of respect and love that we all deserve. Start that year off with that dose of positivity, my friends, because you are a bloody big ledge. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.